I was genuinely pooping a lot that day. I'm not even making this up.
What do you think, Dr. Tharoor? Funny?
Too much information.
TMI.
Well done, Dr.
He is a
Tharoor.
millennial.
Hello and welcome to Social Media Star. I'm Janice Sequeira. My guest for today, Dr. Shashi Tharoor. Meet one of the most viral faces in the country, Srishti Dixit. And Srishti, please meet the man you guys at BuzzFeed India like to call Shashi Tharoor. Did you know you have that nickname at BuzzFeed India?
I didn't, but I'll take it in stride.
Okay, so I just want to say, Dr. Tharoor, for the purpose of this interview, I've decided to keep my phone with me. So has Srishti, because we're worried you're going to throw all kinds of words at us that we just don't understand.
I have my dictionary right here.
I really speak very...
No joke. No joke. I'm not
so
joking.
Word of the day, my gosh. All right.
Okay, but Dr. Tharoor, I want to understand this. You know, if Twitter, which is made up of so-called intellectuals, finds it so difficult to decode your vocabulary and your tweets, how are your co-parliamentarians coping?
Well, first of all, I challenge the premise, because I must have issued, God knows, several thousand tweets over the years, right? Maybe 50,000 or something like that.
45,000.
45, you already up. Good for you. So given that, if there are 2 or 3 tweets which have raised a few eyebrows, is that a fair conclusion to draw that people are not getting my tweets? I genuinely believe that when you're speaking or writing, the idea is to communicate. If you use words no one understands, you don't succeed in communication, and that actually is a disservice to what you're trying to say. So as far as possible, I use words that I consider clear, simple and lucid. Perhaps once in a while it turns out that the word that I think is the most appropriate word to convey a particular thought happens to be one that people don't really know. And then I get all this feedback.
Are you aware that people are actually using your tweets to teach the English language?
No, you're
yes,
joking.
I kid you not.
Well, that's actually, I'm glad to perform the public service. That's why I'm in politics. But I didn't know about this. That's really funny.
In fact, we at BuzzFeed engineered a quiz around all your tweets.
I'm sure you saw this.
Like the language.
So many celebrities took the Shashi Tharoor BuzzFeed India quiz.
Quiz I saw?
Yeah.
Was that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Bakka, I think, had tweeted
Correct.
it.
Yeah.
And then people sent me her tweet, otherwise I would have missed it perhaps. When you do something like this, do you find that people actually respond? They take the quiz,
they really do.
They appreciate it.
Yes, we can see like numbers of people coming to the quiz, and then they take it and they share the, like you can see the result at the end of it. This percentage is what I am of Shashi Tharoor.
Got a 5.
Yeah, I got a 4, I think. I got a 4.
I was embarrassed to even share it.
Don't make me feel bad. I wanted you all to get at least 9.
But Srishti, coming to you, over the last 3 years, you know, like I introduced you, you've become one of the most viral faces in the country. Is it fair to say that playing Pooh, that's Kareena Kapoor from K3G, in that one BuzzFeed video sort of changed your life in a way that you probably didn't expect?
I mean, my life hasn't really changed in real life. So I have a cat, right? Whenever I have to clean out his litter, that's the most humbling experience of the day. That's when I'm like, yeah, this is something I have to do for the rest of his life. No matter what I become, this is not going to change, and I should never forget my roots. These are my roots.
But is it fair to say you're at least the most famous celebrity to have come out of Kanpur? Like you've got to be a celebrity back home.
No, Raju Srivastav is the biggest celebrity to have come out of Kanpur, and he used to be my role model before he became problematic.
Dr. Tharoor, why are Indian politicians so uptight on social media?
Well, partly because, you know, we don't have much of a sense of humor in the country.
Amen.
If a politician cracks a joke that misfires, as has happened to me, the price you pay is actually quite colossal. Many of you will remember my famous or notorious cattle class moment. This is 2009. The government declares an austerity drive, and a BJP-inclined journalist sends me a tweet saying, "So does this mean, Mr. Minister, that you will travel cattle class?" Now, since he used the phrase, and it was a phrase that I was very familiar with from 30 years in the West, where cattle class is merely a way of criticizing the airlines for herding us all into economy like cattle. I replied saying, yes, I'll travel cattle class in solidarity with all our holy cows. Now, I thought I might offend somebody with a holy cow, but in fact, to my horror, I offended people with the cattle class, because apparently people weren't familiar with the phrase. They thought, here is this snooty elitist comparing economy class travelers to cattle, which of course was not what I was doing. Now, to make matters worse, politicians leapt on the bandwagon and said, this man should resign, this man is not fit to be a minister because he's insulted our people. You can't believe it took her 3 days of this going on, or 4 days, before one day at her reception or something, the Prime Minister, no less, Manmohan Singh ji, said, for God's sake, it's only a joke. But it taught me a couple of things, Janice. One is, it's an old Shakespeare line, which I recalled at the height of this crisis, which is that the success of a jest or a joke lies not in the tongue of the teller, but in the ear of the hearer. This is why politicians like me are not very funny on Twitter anymore.
Srishti, what I want to talk to you about is that I find it so amazing that people in their 20s like you are using your social media pages to talk and create awareness about mental health issues. But at the same time, all of the new research shows us that social media is also to blame for all the negative impact on our mental health. How are you balancing this catch-22 situation?
For me, it does affect my mental health as well when I see several beautiful Insta stories of people in beautiful locations on beautiful vacations, which, yeah, it does bother me because I'm just like, why am I not living this life? That's my first thought. For my personal social media, I try to keep it as authentic, as real as possible. This is my face. I will probably make a video with the worst angle possible, and I'll put it out.
So that's your way of keeping it real.
I'm kind of against like curated reality on social media where you curate how gorgeous your life looks. Right. Like your life, your face can't look that gorgeous all the time. Nobody wakes up like this. Like that's a false hashtag.
Well said. I want to end this segment by asking you, Dr. Tharoor, a really simple question. Which film is this dialogue from? Sala circus ka retired bandar lagta hai.
I haven't a clue.
Me neither.
Shall I give you the answer?
Yes, yeah.
It's Andaz Apna Apna.
Well, no wonder I haven't a clue because I've never seen it.
The reason I'm asking you this question, Dr. Tharoor, and you have to know this, please let's clear the air once and for all. Are you the man sitting in between Amir and Salman Khan?
A, of course not. B, by then I was already working several years at the United Nations, and they actually found out who the actor was. He's a Gujarati person who I gather sadly passed away a couple of years ago in his 40s. But I'm also far too old, I'm afraid, to have been at that stage of my youth when that movie was made. But anyway, not me. The irony is that after I came into Indian politics, I started getting movie offers. Why didn't these come when I was young and handsome? But anyway.
Are you still getting offers?
One amusing offer for a bit part in a Salman Khan star from a rather famous director. So I can always cherish these moments. It was to play a role of an Indian foreign minister in a sequence. And the advice I was given by a good friend was, if you really want to be foreign minister, don't play the foreign minister. So I thought that made sense and I backed off. Mind you, a few weeks later, I met Raj Babbar in Parliament and he said, you're crazy, of course you should have played that. So, you know.
Well, it's Bollywood's loss, really. We're going to play an educational game.
Oh.
Okay, Srishti, I'm going to ask you to guess the meaning of words that Dr. Tharoor has used in his tweets.
No chance.
And Dr. Tharoor, you have to tell her whether she is right or wrong.
I'll shock myself with how little I know, but sure.
Okay, what does the word calumny mean? Is it A, slander, B, careless, C, cruel?
I think it means cruel.
Dr. Tharoor?
No, it means slander.
What does the word rhodomontade mean? Behaving in an obscene manner in public, boastful or inflated talk or behavior, overcome by sadness.
The second one.
Correct!
Well done, Srishti.
Because of your extreme emphasis on that option.
She was giving you clues in Bollywood.
I'm trying to help a friend, you guys. Srishti, what does the word snollygoster mean? Does it mean A, an overweight man or woman? B, a story that goes on and on? Or C, a shrewd, unprincipled politician?
A shrewd, unprincipled politician. I knew this one.
Good for you. You knew it from my tweet.
I knew it from your tweet.
What does the word prurient mean? Having or encouraging an excessive interest in political matters, having or encouraging an excessive interest in economic matters, having or encouraging an excessive interest in sexual matters.
Sexual matters?
Correct!
Yeah.
There you are.
That's not that difficult, that word.
Okay. What does the word troglodyte mean? Does it mean A, a person who is being deliberately ignorant or old-fashioned, a person who resembles a dinosaur, or a rhetorical arrow laced with poison?
Just tell me.
Well, actually, the literal meaning of troglodyte is none of those three. It's a cave dweller.
You are wrong.
But it is used metaphorically in her first meaning. There is somebody who's ignorant and has old-fashioned views.
Okay.
And this word you have to get because this is pretty much the Shashi Tharoor word on Twitter.
Is it Farrago?
Yes! What does the word Farrago mean? Group of unrepresented individuals, a confused mixture, the name of a Coen Brothers film.
A confused mixture.
Well done, Srishti.
I want to congratulate you personally on that tweet. That was a great tweet.
I was so angry that day that I just let fly, and it didn't actually occur to me that the word was not known, because I've been using it since college days. Since Stephen's debates, I've been saying a farrago of confused ideas, opinions, and unsourced facts, and that kind of stuff. It was a classic debating expression.
Now we're going to test you. Do you know your millennial slang?
No, I don't. I shall fail
Now I'll
comprehensively.
sip on my tea.
Now Srishti shall sort of help you. Dr. Tharoor, what is the full form of the word FOMO? That's F-O-M-O.
Choices?
Is it A, fan of multiple orgasms? B, fun on my own? Or C, fear of missing out?
Oh, I think it must be fear of missing out, because that's really...
You just basically took the most like logical one.
That's right. But the other two were fun too.
Dr. Tharoor, what is the meaning of the word woke? Is it A, a reality check, B, being socially aware, or C, someone who has a sleeping disorder?
Being socially aware, I think.
Correct. What does it mean when someone says on fleek? Does
On
it mean
fleek.
A, on trend, B, overrated, or C, overpriced?
On fleek, trendy, yeah?
You're killing it.
Killing it, 3
Okay.
on 3.
Really good.
Do you know the full form of BAE? B-A-E. Is it A, best at everything, B, before anyone else, or C, besties and enemies?
No, I think it's an affectionate term, so it must be the middle one, right?
He is a millennial.
And we didn't know.
This is
There
him
you are.
revealing
Reinventing
himself
myself
as a millennial. Yeah.
And my last question, Dr. Tharoor, in this segment. When someone on your Twitter timelines writes the alphabets TIL, what do they mean? A, the internet lies, B, today I learned, or C, trying in life?
It's either one or the other, but I'll go for today I learned.
Well done, Dr. Tharoor. Slow clap. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys some rapid fire questions. I want quick answers. I want short answers. Srishti, name a celebrity who's the perfect GIF and meme making material.
Ranveer Singh.
Okay. Dr. Tharoor, an English word that is frequently mispronounced in India.
Comfortable? Lots of people say comfortable.
Comfortable.
In
I've
North
heard
India
that.
is very common.
I've heard that. Okay, given. Srishti, a hashtag that you absolutely hate right now.
In My Feeling. So it's basically, there's this rapper, he's called Drake. He released a song, it's called In My Feelings, and it's currently on all over social media. It's basically a song that goes, Kiki, do you love me, something.
I don't believe you make me sing this.
The point of the hashtag is that people are driving, and then mid-driving they get out of their car and start dancing, and someone else in the car is taking a video of them while the car is going. It's
That's
quite
where that
ridiculous to do on the roads with the
With
traffic.
Definitely not in Mumbai.
Yeah, it's not cool.
Dr. Tharoor, name an Indian celebrity whose social media presence you enjoy.
I enjoy. I think Omar Abdullah.
Went with the political name only. We could sort of broaden the horizon a little bit more.
Virendra Sehwag.
Him even I enjoy.
Interesting. Srishti, who's the most famous person social media has helped you connect with?
Malika Dua, I think. I think she was the most famous person that I reached out to.
Dr. Tharoor, who on social media could compete with your language skills?
My sons, certainly. They're both there, and
This would be called a nepotistic tweet.
it is a nepotistic tweet. It is a nepotistic answer. It also avoids me having to pick somebody else who might cause offense to somebody else.
Also, he's like paid for their education, so he can advertise this.
Well said, Srishti. This is a smart girl, I can
I
tell
mean,
you. Absolutely.
it's super fair.
And what's more, I've even got a twin discount.
Oh man.
All the way, right up through Yale University.
Okay, Dr. Tharoor, what is the weirdest Twitter or social media handle you follow?
The weirdest.
Yeah.
Punster is one I've discovered fairly recently, pun with a hyphen and stir, and he's actually quite funny.
Srishti, whose social media account would you like to hack and why?
Oh, maybe I would want to hack Deepika Padukone's Instagram.
Why?
Because all of our captions are in third person and it makes no sense to me because it's a private account and like her team runs it. So they say Deepika Padukone was at this event wearing these clothes. And I'm like, but you have posted this picture yourself. So unless she talks about herself in third person,
It's strange.
it's strange.
Yeah.
So you'd hack it just to fix
I would
all
hack
the-
it to fix all of the... I would just say, I was here at this event wearing these clothes. Yeah.
And finally, the same question to you, Dr. Tharoor. Whose social media account would you like to hack and why?
Oh my gosh, imagine if I got onto hacking Narendra Modi's account and managed to tell the truth about all the reality behind the rhetoric.
So this is a segment I like to call What Were They Thinking? Where I've basically gone all over your Twitter and Instagram profiles. I've sort of stalked you all and I've picked a tweet or a post that I thought was interesting. And I want to ask you about it. Okay? Srishti.
I'm never thinking. I'm never thinking before
I think you're going
posting
to kill
anything.
me after I read out this tweet.
Oh man. It's a tweet. I
On
barely
12th
tweet.
Feb 2018, you tweeted this. Celebrating hashtag hug day by shitting. Full day. With no additional comments. Let me ask you.
I would just reiterate the whole being real thing. I was genuinely pooping a lot that day. I'm not even making this up. I think there was some problem going on. But yeah, I mean, I think it's funny.
What do you think, Dr. Tharoor? Funny?
Too much information.
TMI.
Well done, Dr.
That's a
Tharoor.
good one.
Okay, Dr. Tharoor, on 22nd July 2018, 2 days after the hug that broke the internet, you tweeted this poem by Shel Silverstein. I will not play tug-o-war. I'd rather play hug-o-war, where everyone hugs instead of tugs, where everyone giggles and rolls on the rugs, where everyone kisses and everyone grins, everyone cuddles, everyone wins. Only you could actually take what was kind of called an awkward hug and romanticize it to this extent. What were you thinking?
Actually, Shel Silverstein gets all the credit. He wrote the poem. But I'll tell you, I thought it was a way of basically saying, you know, let's get on. Let's get beyond this. Let's celebrate the act of hugging and think of it as something where everyone wins. That was really the main thing. And the light-hearted tone of the poem also conveyed the idea that it's, you know, let's lighten up about this. Let's not start getting pompous about whether it was appropriate in Parliament and all that stuff that was being said. So it was a way of saying, lighten up, folks. It was a hug. Let's celebrate it. Everyone wins in a hug.
Srishti, for all of you millennials at the BuzzFeed India office and as internet aggregators, that must have been a field day, right? I mean, you've got this perfect...
We went so hard memeing that whole clip. We were memeing it the whole time. But I personally relate to our Prime Minister the most that day, in that moment. Because even I dislike hugs, like just as much as he does. I'm like weird about like physical
He doesn't
contact.
dislike hugs. He gives hugs to the most startled world leaders around.
But in that screenshot of that moment,
that point he
his
was
face was just... That's my face whenever anyone tries to hug me. I was like, that Modi ji is me. Yeah.
On that note, Dr. Tharoor, Srishti, for being such fabulous and sporting guests, I've got a few gifts for you guys.
Yay.
From my fans at Steve Madden, Dr. Tharoor, this is for you. I hope you
Thank
like
you.
it.
That's very kind. Thanks very much.
Srishti, this is for you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for doing this. Thank you.
Well,
It's my
thank you,
pleasure.
Janice. It was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janice.
And with that, it's a wrap on season 1 of Social Media Star. Remember to stay lit, stay woke, and hey, no one likes it when you're being extra.